Oh my goodness, I'm so looking forward to my next interview. I get to sit down and hang out with one of the finest musicians we have of all time. Put your hands together. Welcome, Daasebre Gyamenah. Show some love, man. Show some love. Daasebre, welcome to the show, man. It's good to see you. You know what amazes me about you musicians? You're like you're all shy. I just want to, first of all, congratulations for your music, man.
Thank you very much.
You do so well. How long ago did you start getting into serious music?
I started music when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because
like
my
how old?
Around 8 to 9.
Really?
Yes, I was staying with my grandfather, who was then a musician. So that was where I started everything.
Really? Who is your grandfather?
The last born of New Japan King, Nana Akresi.
I see. Your grandfather was his last born.
Born, yeah.
I see. And he was a musician?
He was. Yeah.
So what instruments did you start with, or you were just singing?
I started with bass, but I came to stop it and go actually into writing of music.
So you write all the music you make?
Oh yes, I do.
When did you get into serious professional music?
That was in 98.
98.
Yeah.
And your first big hit was?
My first big hit was Kokoko, which was in 99.
That was massive. Coco was massive.
Yeah.
And that was in 99.
Yeah.
And then since then you've been delivering hits, man. Hit after hit after hit.
Yeah. After Kokoko, I came out with Anwofe. Then You Can't Touch Me, and How Far. A lot.
What inspires you? I mean, everybody says they have their reason. What gets you writing your music?
Actually, I look at what happens to other people and also what happened in my life, because my mom died very early when I was 3 months.
3 months?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was staying with my grandfather. After my dad too was away from Ghana, and when he came, he needed to pick us from Koforidua to Accra to stay with our stepmom. We were 2. The pains that I went through when I was a kid, being stayed with my stepmom.
What was some of the pains you remember?
I quite remember a time when my senior brother did something at home, and my stepmom said she was not going to allow him to sleep in her room. So I also decided to sleep outside with my senior brother, since he was not going to be allowed to stay in the room. Yeah.
So you slept outside?
Yeah.
How long?
Actually, for a week.
Really?
Yeah.
In support of your brother?
Yeah.
You're a good friend, though. Other was my friend. And after a week, he forgave your brother, and then you moved in? Then
we moved in. Well, we used to fetch the water that she uses to cook. I think for a week she was suffering, and she wanted my senior brother to come home. And that was where we went back home.
So who was fetching the water in the meantime? She had to do it herself?
No, he had children, but they were not doing so. It was me and my senior brother. We used to do that. And when we were out from the house, her children were not doing as we were doing. So actually, she saw that we were very important.
So she was missing you.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, there's one thing that hit us all, I'm sure you know. And we, your fans, who were devastated. They say, Daasebre has been arrested because he's carrying cocaine in the UK, all kinds of stuff. What happened? What came through that?
Okay, with this, I need to trash my words carefully, and therefore, I would like to use my mother tongue.
Please, feel free.
Yes, I think it's 2006, and now, but in Germany, including my stepbrother. The Omoko and was said me to me call London.
I don't call Germany.
For the World Cup now.
A World Cup, okay.
You know, and we're training them years old. So me call Europe, Germany, and the MFA UK. Na my record, the me Ghana 29th. And I could do Heathrow, no. So suddenly, I'm a police for be surrounding me, and almost one person inspecting me near Mano.
Airport on?
Airport Heathrow. Yeah. omo check me first luggage na hwe in shame. And omo hwe me hand luggage no. And omo some they call laboratory. The omo call e number omo say o omo substance bi omo a omo GD say cocaine. And I me say how the na me no mu dey chine kakra and omo dey me call lab or na omo call ye nti omo biebie no honestly na bibi fimu ba te say powder white and omo call test omo so we cocaine na I didn't try me cocaine by UK and I say me nim and that very day omo dream am hu cocaine kan me hu bi da and omo say na me nim we den na e hye me niemem am say o me kwa brochra enya me na most me pack me nyama ebi ho no ma me wife ebi so ho a me closest friend Donaldson ono na me ne no bibia no wako check in ama me ansa na me mako airport enti se bibi sa wo mu dia me ntumi nka say Donaldson no but ono na me blame no mo di musa kikri sa na fe me ni so tie me na me o ISOF
no ever
ISOF one of the crime courts in UK na di musa anti
che a bass and they you go to jail they held you
yeah
they tell you ever
scraps one move scraps for until now was me call trial but me do prison no send nipa bebre na being first time no so no na ma adwen na say we your boss here wo de koka say cocaine no na wo de buy na yenjao I me say they are minimum there
even need to serve for prisoners
the inmates
and
me first barrister cry or buy no government in the no ma me no ono cry we insist say me koka say media and I me say me to me nyesa nti actually no say me di koke aba na ya che me a me say enya media
barrister no
and the first one no
yeah
na ye mama 20 years nti me sister ono worry broni ono no buy no say omokofa barrister for Frabremi through the help of my solicitor ono a Muslim ti omokofa will be from Scotland Abraham Joe Stone the Joe Stone ni buy no oba prison in Bekasa say obusa menuma say na me ka che no say ye be ko trial na metumi akasa na me say metumi akasa nti didimu an ye call first trial na menya 7 na prosecutors ni say nya 6 na just
jury no
voting
we are 7
over
prosecutors 6 7 say we are not guilty
that's it nti yes I know say me call second trial biem nti second trial ni so do so na ye call no na after bibia mbusa questions na no na ye de me ko share court cells honom me o na me barrister ba o say yes aka another question be busa that should be the last question na me say question ben o say o ma me worry onyim say metumi ayi no
one country
me ti me o na ye be fa me ko but tem bia me ko prisoner me de me mat any me sujada me test be me Quran eko na fi omo wedes na wo no omo sere say enti we am ye no say you find me guilty aden na me say o we dey same from me normal prayers na me on number fa me fee prison on cells on mu e de me call ye na omo three question and say did I say I bought the bag or I brought the bag and I say o there was nowhere in my statement I make say I bought the bag me say I brought the bag and Chief Justice now or say oh yes me man can be say me to bag no na emu no me de buy me wie no na yesabe fa me koe ti me hwa na ye dim buy biem na jury no be more verdict omo mai na menya 10 against 1
10 in favor of you
yeah the non say I was found not guilty
wow let me see if I can do a quick summary here he was arrested at the port they suspected him he was picked out of the line they did a search and they came back and told him that they suspect that he's carrying substance in the bag, so they had to do further tests. They went and did an electronic scanning, x-ray the bag, and in fact there was cocaine. He denied knowledge of the cocaine. He said he didn't packed the bag by himself, so he has no idea where the cocaine came from. It went to trial, and at the first trial, it was the jury voted 7-6 in his favor, so there had to be a second trial. So meanwhile, he was detained until the second trial, and eventually at the second trial, it was 10 in his favor against 1, so they had to release him. But in the meantime, the interesting thing I'm hearing is that the solicitor or the lawyer that was appointed by the state to defend him was actually insisting that he pleads guilty and admits that he brought the cocaine. And not only that, some of the inmates in the cell were also telling him, man, look, just go and plead guilty, say you brought the thing, and then be free, you know. But he kept insisting on the story that no, he was not guilty. Got to a time where they had to ask whether he had said under oath whether he had said whether he bought the bag or brought the bag to the UK. And he said that he said he brought the bag to the UK. Well, the long and short of it was that they went to trial, and finally it was 10-1 in his favor, so they let him go, man. Show some love, man. So, we did 1 year, and then 1 year later they discovered that it was not you.
Me that 11 months.
11 months, okay. Yeah. And then they just said it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Once you.
Oh, say me manager plane tickets now. Freight no the Bible training na any me sister mo abrofo no mo ba be sin ko kofu di akohwe me fie take pictures ni ade ni na sa ka ni nyina no hima ni de mame.
Oh really? Well, there was some investigation when he was in jail. They came to Ghana to investigate your family and find information about you. And all the cost that you incurred, your plane fare and everything, was refunded to you by the state.
Yes.
So that's going to become one. Never mind.
At when you born at Tessiswa, no funny,
So now what jail? No, what were some of the experiences? We are more jail.
Me are more jail. From jail, I'm here Trasso, and I'm here Numbiti said Jimmy. As soon as you are Papa Mr. Sama phone cry Jimmy if it's a David form of jail no. Me di suni ko to dwabo ani me say Jimmy. E ja say wanye me dia ene na ma wi ani. E puma toto amantoku asisi. Me Jimmy fra me twa to e ba ne say man sign me chi bie mu a. Papa Mr. wa say Jimmy. Okese me dia ma dwene mu no. Dia me nyina ma ye wi ni ameka nyina ma.
So that was after that. I see. That's it. So let's take it from. So now we've realized that you are free man. You come back to your music. What impact has it had on your career?
Currently, me buy no me who say I found out say the name has gone down a little bit because in Crawford no more pay myself no. They were disappointed. And senior work can be no baby as well. Ya ton wa ko do ni ntimi sign ro. Now the only effort was me and say me bomb me humor then I come out with songs that people will listen and they would understand me through the songs I compose. Me the chaso me boy chaso near there. But gradually inshallah me say nyankopon changing nyama nyame changing nyama. Say nipa bopo nyankopon bopo nyame pone mu eden. Because after all, say me lose who be akra who was I was nobody. Nyankopon ti nyame na fo ni pafi achichem no the next botan so. Ti me say nyankopon ti no
inshallah you bounce back.
I'll bounce back.
Fantastic. And we just wanted to hear also your version of the whole thing, and Mr. Sean crying, my boy Basu, and they give you hope that you know God is the final arbiter, and hopefully, omani do it, you know, omani dream society, no, ombe who say no credit tawachi, no more dream sense of you. If you are in your meeting, what are we expecting next from Daasebre?
No way na say na me say last year no na nsem bebre na the course wa ntimi de anyum foforo ba out it's almost done me ye masters in Germany her title na bia na Ghana for na antimas ye but me see ye mfita but literal almost fan literally I'm very wrong.
Yen fita.
Yen fita.
But me funny literally.
Funny literally are very wrong because you say you na nanum first no mo bo abotre bi. Wo bo scarf na we si ne pobi. I so bo akuti a ne ababy a yen hwe ho. Na mpeni say yen fiita enti no eno na me dey ba at least kro no ma ye hwe do say you to me sre kakra.
Oh, it's great hanging out with Daasebre and listening to what happened and his courage and boldness to accept it and state his course that he is not guilty. And so, whoever packed his bag, I don't like I said, I can't pack your bag.
I'll do nothing. I got to Germany.
Go to Germany. Anyway, so show some love one more time. But Daasebre, I said, okay, we're going to do one more song for us before we get out of here. So show some love one more time.